And now the goal here is to first and foremost select our main keyword, but then we want to let Google give us all of the extra keywords that are most relevant to that, so we know exactly what to put deeper into our content. We know what other phrases, what other subtopics, what other subheadings to include in our content. So we're going to jump onto the computer right now and get started, and I'm excited to share this with you. So I've got right here the keyword tool in place, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go down the vegan dog food rabbit hole here. That's a niche example idea that I've had and used before. I think it's kind of comical, but you'll even see now that there are 3,600 people per month who search for vegan dog food, which is kind of to me, that's a crazy number. And I've known this was a viable niche for someone who has pets, is vegan, does vegan dog food for their pets. That's not me. I don't have pets, but I do eat a plant-based diet. It's still a good niche example. So vegan dog food is my example. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and I can see that vegan dog food brands has a very low difficulty score. And then I can also see here, it looks like vegan puppy food has a very low difficulty score, but also low search volume. So again, this isn't designed to be a full keyword research how-to video. I've covered that in detail. I want to show you what to do once we know what our main keywords are. So from here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up a notepad and I'm going to take a note of 3 keywords that I found that have the main keyword, which is vegan dog food, and then the sub keywords, vegan dog food brand, and then vegan puppy food? Vegan puppy food. I want to look at a little other score here. I just clicked on the search bar next to vegetarian dog treats to see if something in the dog treats realm. There's vegan dog treats, 545 with 37. That's a really good one too. So vegan dog treats. Okay, so now I've got about 4 keyword phrases that are all relevant to vegan dog food, which is my main keyword phrase. And now I'm gonna go open a new incognito window. The reason we open an incognito window is because we don't want our personal data that Google has been collecting on us to skew our results. If you're actually in this niche, and if you're going in this niche, you've been doing a lot of searching, you've been going to your own website, you've been kind of engaged in the blogosphere around this niche. So to remove all of that identity to those other websites and to make sure that Google's not showing you sites you've been to before or showing you biases based on your search habits, you use an incognito browser. So here I am in incognito browser, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to search for vegan dog food right in Google. Now you notice that there was some autofill showing up. It was automatically populating some other ideas for me. So for example, up here, if I just click on the search that I just completed up top, it shows vegan dog food recipes, best vegan dog food, Halo vegan dog food, which I'm guessing is a brand, and vegan dog food reviews. Now, as a content creator, I'm already realizing I've seen the brand names, and the reviews come up several times. So there is a large segment of this audience who are looking for reviews on different brands and different types of food. So I would probably create an entire silo on my website around that, and each of those brand recommendations would be an affiliate link, whether it's through ShareSale, AvantLink, Amazon, wherever I could find somewhere to link to those products. That's something you would know doing the research in your niche. But now that I've run this search for just vegan dog food, noticing several ads up top, which is really good. It means that there is money in this space, which kind of proves my ideas. Now, what I'm looking for is what has been bolded by Google in the search results. So obviously if you're listening, you can't see this, but when you do a search, you'll notice that they do add bold to certain words in the descriptions, and sometimes it's not just your main phrase. So right here you'll see vegan dog food is bolded, but if I go down enough, I'm thinking at some point we're going to see something that's outside of that. And I'm just scrolling down right now, vegan dog food. Oh, this is kind of hilarious. It actually shows a map of restaurants in my area, picking up off the food word. That's kind of hilarious. But you'll notice in this result, it shows pet food. So Google has bolded pet food. Now, what that tells me is that when I search vegan dog food, Google thinks pet food is what we call an LSI. It's something like linguistic, semantic, big crazy nerdy words that we don't matter. What it essentially means is that Google kind of sees pet food and dog food as the same phrase. So now I know that I can use the phrase pet food in my blog post and essentially get credit or get SEO score or show up as another indicator for relevance towards vegan dog food by using the word pet food. This allows me to write a more dynamic piece of content that isn't just repeating vegan dog food, vegan dog food, vegan dog food. I can use vegan pet food as a replacement. Google will know that it's the exact same thing. How do I know? Because Google has bolded it here. I'm going to add that down here to my list. Now I'm going to keep scrolling down a little bit more. Again, I'm looking at the bold words that are coming up. Man, there's so many advertisements for this. And then vegetarian dog food came bolded up in one of the last advertisements. So there I now know that Google pretty much sees vegetarian and vegan as the same thing. Interesting. It's obviously not the same thing, but it's close enough to get them over the hump, and they obviously allow some of their search volume to go back and forth in this idea. I personally probably would go back to the keyword tool and do more digging, but that's not the point of this video. I would probably go into vegetarian dog food and see if there's any more. Again, I'm looking for the low keyword difficulty score with a high search volume to find the best one for me. So I'm not going to do that now because I want to show you how to lay out quickly way to structure and lay out your content to be optimized for this kind of phrase. Because again, we want to optimize for our main phrase, but all the other supporting phrases. And then down here at the bottom, you see this searches related to vegan dog food. Now, Google shows this. If you're just listening, it's at the very bottom of the first page of search results on Google. This is a grouping of 8 different keyword phrases. They're not always hyper relevant, but what we want to do is we want to go in and pull out the ones from here that are indeed relevant to what we're doing. I'm actually going to just copy the whole kind of grouping of them, and I'm going to go paste it over here in my notepad. And it's vegan dog food recipes, it's best vegan dog food, Halo vegan dog food review, V-Dog reviews, vegan puppy food, vegan dog food PetSmart, and natural balance vegan dog food. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate out the ones that talk about brands. So V-Dog, I'm going to remove them because again, I would do a separate post on all of those different ones. Vegan dog food reviews would be a separate post, and this is Google telling me that that's the kind of content Google users want to read and watch. Effectively, I can translate that to that's what people want to watch on YouTube as well, and that's how you can use this for kind of for YouTube also. So now I've got my keyword phrases up top that I pulled out of the keyword tool, which are vegan dog food brand, vegan puppy food, vegan dog treats. And then I'm going to remove vegan dog food brand from that because, as I said before, I think that would be a great separate post. I think there's a lot of relevance to that in its own, and I would get all the brand names of all the vegan dog foods, and I do a big review post, like the ultimate review post for vegan dog foods. Again, we're letting Google tell me what to create content on based on the data Google gets from its users searching the phrases around what I'm looking for. So for my keyword tool, I have vegan dog food, vegan puppy food, vegan dog treats. From looking at the bold content, I know that pet food is a replacement for vegan dog food, and I also know vegetarian is potentially a replacement for vegan. Now, if I'm hardcore, I can't blend vegetarian food and vegan food into the same post beyond a little idea, because a hardcore vegan is going to scoff at the idea of just doing vegetarian food that has milk and butter and other things that are animal products in it. This is knowing your niche, right? Then from the kind of searches related to from the bottom, I've got vegan dog food recipes, best vegan dog food, vegan puppy food, which is a replacement from above. It just reiterates that's what I want to do. And then vegan dog food PetSmart. So now I'm done in the searching tools, right? At this point, it's time to create content. If I'm creating a video and I want to use an outline-based structure on a video, this is where I can kind of run with these ideas and turn them into video content. If I'm a blogger writing blog posts on my WordPress blog, I would now take these and I want to organize these in a fashion where I've essentially created an outline-based structure, and each of these keyword phrases that I'm using would end up being in my heading tags. So they would probably each be H2s. The H1 would be vegan dog food, right? So the post, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to add more text to these to turn them into heading tags that would actually go in the post and that I would write more content on. So for vegan dog food, which is our H1, it's the most important tag, it's the most important phrase to our post, I would say the ultimate guide for vegan dog food in 2018, or the 2018 Ultimate Guide to Vegan Dog Food. Now, that's going to be my H1. I can note that as an H1, but I don't really need to. I can do that in the editor as I'm going. Then what is the most relevant idea between vegan dog food and beyond, right? So the first thing I want to make sure is clear is what is vegan dog food and how does it differ from vegetarian dog food? Here I am able to grab this vegetarian dog food phrase that I pulled straight out of Google, so I know Google thinks it's relevant, and I'm going to take that here and I'm going to put it down and say, so I've now added a new line. What is vegan pet food and how does it differ from vegetarian dog food? I could actually kind of say vegetarian pet food just to keep that similar. But again, I know from inside of Google, when it showed me as bold in the search results, that using the word pet food was essentially interchangeable and vegetarian was interchangeable. So this is my first kind of subheading. I would need to create content on this. Then I will put another one, which will be, let me just type this out real quick. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm a little in over my head in this subject matter, right? I don't have a dog, I don't have any pets, so I don't know it enough to get really, really crafty headlines and subheadlines, and I'm kind of going off the fly. I haven't done this before. You're with me live as I'm kind of thinking this out. So the next one I wanted to get in was vegan puppy food and how vegan puppy food helps nurture your young pup into a strong dog. Again, this is a subheading. This is going to be bolded. It's going to be larger. It includes my main keywords, but I wanted to get vegan puppy food in there. And then I want to do vegan dog treats is the next one I want to get in. Vegan dog treats as a healthy snack for your doggo. And I got pet food in there. I got vegetarian dog food in there. So I could delete these from my list now. Now at the bottom, I'm looking at the last 3 suggestions. So at this point, I have 4 lines written out. I have the 2018 Ultimate Guide to Vegan Dog Food. Then subhead 1 is what is vegan pet food and how does it differ from vegetarian pet food? Then how vegan puppy food helps nurture your young pup into a strong dog. Vegan dog treats as a healthy snack for your doggo. Let me put strong puppers here. I've got to use my lingo. And obviously, like, I'm kind of goofing a little bit because that's what I would bring to this kind of a blog, would be a bit of personality. You would do this how you do. Then I want to use these last 3. The last 3 phrases I got from the bottom of Google are vegan dog food recipes, best vegan dog food PetSmart. Now I'm going to go to vegan dog food recipes and I'm going to come up with a subheading for that. So the next subheadline I came up with was 3 simple vegan dog food recipes that will save you time and money. Perfect. I've got vegan dog food recipes in there. And let's do here a couple more. The last one I put in there was, can you find vegan dog food at PetSmart? Now I'm going to leave off best vegan dog food because that again would probably work really well for the kind of review post that I now clearly see would be the post that I focused my energy on tomorrow, right? The next day would be the next post in this series, which that makes the most logical sense. And what I now have and what I've ended up with here is 5 different one-liners. These are essentially the pieces of my outline that I need to expand upon. Now, if you're more comfortable in Word, do this in Microsoft Word. Use the actual outline, right? These would be your number 1, then you would put A's under them, and you put sub ideas. So if we kind of think back, I remember when I was in high school and even before that, the idea of writing an essay was an intro, 3 main points, 3 sub points for each main point, and then your conclusion, and that's it. You wrap it up and you're out the door. So if you look at it here, we kind of have a very similar structure. So what we need is, here we would add, and here being just below the 2018 Ultimate Guide to Vegan Dog Food, introduction. And this could be who you are, what you do, how you've helped your dog, a little bit about your story. Stories really hook people in. So this would be a great opportunity for you to share a 0 to hero story. If your dog was suffering from really poor health and you helped your dog kind of get fit and back to happy doggo puppers running through the forest and all kinds of awesome, exciting stuff, right? That 0 to hero journey, I would include that in the introduction. Then, what is vegan pet food and how does it differ from vegetarian food? 3 main points, right? So what I just put is, what is vegan, what is vegetarian, why vegan is better. So we would have a subheading, an H2, that says, what is vegan pet food and how does it differ from vegetarian pet food? Then below that, you would have a paragraph that explains what is the concept of vegan, right? No animal products, which means no milk, no lactose, like anything in that sense. What is vegetarian? You'd explain that it's a plant-based diet that has, you can use kind of animal products, but just not animal flesh. And then why vegan is better. Bring it back to their dog. Bring it back to the health of their dog, how long their dog's going to live, et cetera, et cetera. How vegan puppy food helps nurture your young pup into a strong puppers. This would obviously be where you talk about the benefits of, a young dog's kind of digestive tract or whatever it is, right? You're growing a young dog, so you want to make sure it's got healthy bones, healthy this, and you would look at the benefits of vegan dog food in growing a young dog to a strong dog that's going to have a healthy foundation for a long life. Then we have our next one, vegan dog treats as healthy snacks for your doggo. Can you teach me how to create 3 healthy dog snacks that I bake on my own, that I use in a dehydrator, right? How can you help me create that? Or do you have recommendations for dog snacks from my local dog food store that are vegan and don't have processed foods? Also, probably really good to include why. And it's all about, at this point, talking about the scary, weird, nasty stuff, the mashed up bone meal, the horse hooves, whatever they're putting in the bad dog treats, right? Paint up that picture of how bad the bad is, lead me to why I need the vegan ones, and then how to make it on my own to save money, right? So then 3 simple vegan dog food recipes that'll save you time and money. So I don't know anything about this. I'm gonna say potatoes, corn, and broccoli. I have no idea. I'm literally pulling that out of my head. I would do more keyword research. I would make sure I know what I'm talking about moving into this niche. Can you find vegan dog food at PetSmart? Your local stores. So then I put under that, can you find vegan dog food at PetSmart, your local stores and their partners, brands you can trust, and teaser for the full vegan food review, right? The full vegan pet food review. And once you do create that vegan pet food review ultimate guide to the 10 top brands for vegan pet food, you would come back to this post and you would link that section over to your new post that you just created, creating more of a web inside. I'm just adding a couple here real quick to the 3rd section. So at this point, I've got at least 3 subtopics that are focused on the heading above them for each of my main keyword-based headings that I created straight from the data that Google gave me. At this point, I just need to go fill out more information on each one of these points. If I go through and create 2 or 3 sentences on each of these subpoints, by the time I'm done creating literally 2, 3, if it's 4 or 5, that's great. I would probably make sure it's more than 1 for each of them. I wouldn't turn these into sentences. I would turn them into at least paragraphs. But if I go create 1 to 2 to 3 different sentences on each of these, I'm going to end up with about a 1,500, 2,000 word post that's going to be really focused on many of the different topics and phrases that people are searching on Google. It's going to show a lot of relevance to Google, especially when I've got these main pieces in my heading tags. And I'm showing Google that I understand not only one specific keyword that I'm going after, but I understand all these other sub phrases that Google has shown me are highly relevant. And that's it. I would get this thing up, I would get it out, I would add some images, I would do the alt tags, go through my SEO video. I'll have that pop up in the corner where I covered it on the board, how to lay this out. But I wanted to give you a framework. I wanted to give you a specific how-to tutorial on how to quickly go from like idea of the main keyword that you want to focus on, bring that back to where you're now able to expand upon that and create an outline. So all you really got to do is go fill in a few main phrases, a few main sentences, a few main paragraphs based on each of these little individual points. I mean, at this point, without even knowing anything about vegan dog food, I'm confident I could go bang this out in an hour and a half, 2 hours, and have one of the best, for sure, posts on this topic on Google. How would I do it? I'd go Google each of these things. I'd go do my research. I might buy a book. I might have a book or 2 on a shelf. If I'm in the niche, I'd have 7 or 8 books on the shelf, right? I would already know this stuff, and I would be able to give my unique perspective on all of it, and that's what people ultimately want. But even as an outsider from a niche, going this specific, this step-by-step, letting Google tell me what content it wants, it's easy at this point. The game becomes easy. Yes, there's more work to do, right? It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy because it takes time. You got to put in the time to do the work. Once you're done, you lay this out on your blog post, you click publish, you're good for the day. Get started on your next post, which tomorrow, obviously, the keywords pointed to doing a full review on the different foods. Then, as you're pulling your keywords for the next post and the next post, you're always looking out for those patterns of, okay, Google's kind of pointing me over here. I could do another post on this, and then they link together in series. You will quickly create one of the most authoritative posts on a specific topic if you follow this process over and over and over. And again, if you're doing videos like I am, you come up with a main topic first, you come up with that main headline, you speak it out the first thing in the video, and then you go through and you make sure you hit all of those subpoints on your video. In your description, you make sure you write out all of those subpoints that you covered. You make sure your title has your main keyword. The first 3 lines of your description talks about these main points they're going to learn. So you get those keywords in the title and the first 3 lines of the description. Obviously, put it all in the tags on the video. And the most important part is to actually deliver the goods on the video. You got to talk about these things. You got to share what you know about these things. Something this size in video format, in my personal opinion, could probably be broken up into 3 or 4 different videos. But in the blogosphere, I would want this to be one big, massive, comprehensive post that has more relevant keywords, more phrases, more words, more value, because that's really what ranks it on Google. So that's a little bit of a difference in approach between YouTube and Google. I hope this has been helpful for you. This is a very simple process that anyone can follow. This is kind of that step between when you get all the keywords from the keyword tool and then you're ready to lay out the post on your blog in the way we talked about before. This is how you create all the content. It takes a lot of work, but it's not even I don't even feel like this is beyond me as someone who's totally new to this niche, which means when you're focused and going in the direction of a niche that you have expertise in, that's something that you love, you'll enjoy spending time to research these ideas if you don't already know it, if you haven't already read the books, right? That's the trick to becoming a successful content marketer. That's when it really works well, is when you're doing something you love that helps others, that kind of pulls on some expertise that you have or that you're willing to gain. And effectively, you're becoming a researcher. You're willing to put in the time and energy to research everything about vegan dog food. So when people who don't know as much as you do are searching, you've already spent the time. You've put in the hours it took to build that great blog post. So when they're the super busy person who commutes every day to and from the office, they get home and they're like, man, my dog's not doing well. Like, I got to get on a vegan diet. They go Google it. They find your content. They trust you. They trust your recommendations. They click on your links. They buy the products you recommend. They opt in for your course to learn how to make the recipes themselves. And you, my friend, have a growing content marketing strategy. You have a growing blog, a growing list, and a growing business online. That's how it works. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about how this works, hit me in the comments below. I'm happy to answer your questions as best I can when I have time. If you have not yet subscribed, click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, the subscribe button is going to be grayed out, but next to it, there's a little bell. If you click the bell, you'll get a notification in YouTube when I have new videos up. Easy way to stay in tune with what I'm dropping next, because I'm trying to drop more knowledge bombs like this throughout 2018 and beyond. Anything else you want to engage how you want to engage. If you think this would be helpful for a content marketing group you're in on Facebook, grab the URL, share it out there. If you know somebody who does content marketing, you want to share this video with them, send them the link, do what you do, engage how you want to engage. The most important thing is to go through this process like dozens or hundreds of times. Like literally, you'll get good at it, you'll get fast at it. When you get to where you can lay out these kinds of outlines based on the keywords that you're getting straight from Google and the keyword tool, and then boom, you just go hammer out the content around it. Wow, you become a content machine. Do it 90 times in 90 days, and you, my friend, have a very, very, very successful start to what can be a lifestyle altering business. That's it. I think this explains the process. I had fun jumping into this random niche that I've talked about before that I don't know a darn thing about because I don't have pets and I just don't do this, but somebody out there does. And if you're in the niche and you're able to just kind of like dominate with this that we laid out and outrank all the other people, I'd love to hear about it, because I think that would be pretty funny, because I think I just blew up the spot on someone's niche who's been undercover, but now you guys know about it. But that's it. Thanks again for your time. Let me know any questions you have. Hit me in the comments, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Until then, be well, keep pushing out content, keep doing the work, because that's what really makes it happen. You got to turn off YouTube sometimes and actually get to clicking them keys and spitting out the honesty on YouTube. Become a content creator. It is the trick. It is the path. That's how it all works. So I'll catch you on the next video. Until then, be well.